Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Happy New Year. It's pretty cool. I've always kind of wanted to do one of these, so I'm glad we're getting the opportunity to do it. I know it's such a busy time of the year. I know for me, myself, and my family, and I'm assuming for you all too. So I appreciate so many of you already being here in the chat. What is up, Oracle? Larry Diamond, what is up, dude? Reichert, how you doing? Happy New Year from South Africa. Right on. Still an hour to go. Let me know. I hope we should still be streaming when you're doing it. So if you're here, let us know. That's awesome bringing it in. Thanks for bringing it in with me. What's up, Laser? Yusafa, literally talking about you. Well, I guess typing about you today in my own Discord server. And it was agreed. It was unanimous decision. You seem like a really awesome guy. Everyone agreed. All right. What's up, right guy? Ernie, how you doing, my friend? And then I'm already joined by two friends on call. This is fun. Like, these are friends who I have not actually met in person, but these are friends, like real friends. I consider them friends. Daddy Longlegs, DLL himself is here, and also Nerd, who you've heard me mention both of these guys. Hopefully you're familiar with their channels, but you've heard me mention them in so many of my videos. So much awesome knowledge. And yeah, I consider them to be good friends of mine. Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. You guys, either of you have big plans for the holiday?
Not really, just other around.
Yeah, probably gonna watch some Mythic Quest from the family. That's been our together show recently.
Yeah.
And drink.
Smart man to do that at home. It's been a while now. It's not a secret how old I am. But it's been a bit. It's been more than a bit where there's a point where my wife and I were like, I don't think I even want to go out on New Year's because it feels like everyone who does not drink all year decides that New Year's Eve is the night they're going to catch up on the year.
Yeah.
And so like it just stopped being fun. I think we also got old and whatever. I'm sure that was part of it. But so I hear that, smart man to drink alone. And holy, are you kidding me right now? Supporter extraordinaire, OG Highline, coming with a massive donation. Thank you so much, dude. I'm glad you could make the stream. I know I talked about it, and I was hoping people would be able to show up. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for celebrating the New Year's with us. Let's start this freaking stream off proper. This is an amazing start. OG Highline, thank you so much. Zach Richards, another member extraordinaire. What is going on, dude? Thank you so much for being here. PWF as well. Let me get this updated, guys. And wow, this is crazy. This is $100. Holy cow!
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, I think this is going to own the top spot today, and it's going to get me to want to go the full 2 hours if I can. So that I remember that happening with New Year's Eve, and we talked about it off air here for a few seconds. It's like I haven't really done anything for New Year's Eve in a while, and it's like I mean it's like with COVID, right? Like but we are going out. We actually are. We being my family, we got invited to a few different things actually, and we had committed to one. The second one actually works with the timeline because most of us have kids, so the idea of staying up till midnight isn't quite like there yet for how young some of them are. And so the younger family or the family with younger kids, we're going to be hanging out with them, I think around like 4 or 5 o'clock our time till about 9. And then we're going to another family who their kids are older than ours. Their youngest is the same years as our oldest. And we're going to see if we can make it to like 10 o'clock. Cause I have a 7-year-old and I don't know if having her up. We're doing a lot of talking. This is, I think you could tell by the title and the pinned comment. There's not going to be much gameplay. I actually have, I don't know about you all. I have a lot of scrap. And I want to prepare my account for 2023. I've already been knocked out of my own tournament, which is not a shock. It's happened. It's fine. But I am going to be competing in Ghost Dogs tournament. I'd like to do well. I'd like to do better than I did in my own. And so I'm going to use this scrap and I'm going to rank up a bunch of champions to rank 2. I'll show you some ones I've recently taken to rank 3 and to rank 2. And we're just going to talk and hang out. So if you guys have questions, ask questions. You've got myself. You also have 2 really smart people here with DLL and Nerd. So let's have fun. So many people in the chat here too. What's up, Joey, Tom Jarvis. Tom, I really enjoyed, I am making my way through your side of your match with Legacy. I've learned a lot from watching that. It was a really good match. I know you obviously weren't feeling well, So that kind of sucks, but you still put up a good one. And I literally laughed out loud when you had the moment of self-awareness on the Korg. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You're like, this is the third time I have not had a good Korg matchup. Maybe that's my fault.
Feel that one.
Yeah, right? Where you just like kind of keep making the same mistake over and over, but you don't, we don't have coaches live, so we don't know. Oh, you know what? How far into this quest am I?
I forget what it was, but there was a matchup on one of my Battleground streams sometime in the last month.
Yeah.
Where something like that happened and I messed it up and I was like, you know what? Sorry guys, I'm going to go duel right now because that is not happening again. And I went and I did like 3 or 4 duels right then because I just, yeah.
How did it work out? Do you remember who you were fighting?
I don't even remember who I was using. My guess is it was a Tigra fight because that's the kind of thing where that matters.
Yeah.
It did help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and you were using Tigra, I'm realizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I thought you were like fighting Tigra, and I was like, pretty sure DLL knows how to fight Tigra. I'm clearly missing something. Right guy moved here from Illinois almost 2 years ago. No shot to make it to midnight. Yeah, I mean, like we already had someone from South Africa saying that New Year's was only a year away for them. So, I mean, a year, an hour. South Africa's that far in the past. It's going to take a whole year for them. Michael, what's up? Happy birthday. Happy New Year. Not happy birthday. Thank you for the content, the streams. You got it, man. The way you do Battleground tournaments and things help drive. That's awesome to hear, dude. Battlegrounds. I mean, it goes back to like that first beta the CCP got to do, and I was hooked. I mean, I was so hooked. Yeah, we can say all these things now. I was genuinely considering starting a second channel, and I still may one day, but it'll be a little different than this one. About like another game, because I just enjoy doing this too much to stop. And then the Battlegrounds came in, and that got me to quickly decide that this game had a lot of life left. And if I was going to bet on enjoying a game for a long time, that it made more sense to do it with this game than anything else. So yeah, I love it. I think it's great. How come that didn't do more damage? Oh well. And I'm glad that we're able to do the tournaments. I happen to be lucky in having so many friends who are incredibly good at the game. And so we've been able to put on a good show with them. And I still think I might get up that frequently asked questions. The thing is I don't know. I'm just kind of like stream of consciousness here. Is so many people ask about the tournament, things like that. I do think it'd be good to get up a frequently asked questions so people can just have somewhere to look at it. I just don't know where to do it. I think my Discord server, but obviously not everyone's on there. So we'll see. So that's awesome to hear. Larry's older than me. All right, Larry. I'll take your word for it. Rickert, does anyone know if Gore needs to be duped for defense? DLL or Nerd? Do you guys know that?
He doesn't really need the dupe for defense. No, it's mostly about like specific matchups, and of course, you generally aren't going to be using those specific matchups on attack against a Gore.
Okay. Will he be good in this upcoming meta? This upcoming Battlegrounds meta?
I don't think so. Just since the meta incentivizes so many different Mystic attackers, and then Gore won't really be a great attacker either. So yeah.
Right. You want to turn off buff on hit triggers anyway. And so you're probably like going to be perfectly answering Gore with literally everyone in your deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see him being very good. And then on attack, he wouldn't be able to hold on to his buffs. Because technically he can turn them on by hitting into block, but unlike a Valkyrie or whatever, he doesn't have any safety features for if he finishes a combo into a block.
And he doesn't. Does he have an armor break or anything like that? Or did you guys already say that? No. Okay.
No.
And then he won't be buffed yet, right? Or is he the January buff?
No, I don't think his is live yet.
Yeah, I
So
remember some talk about him not being buffed for the attack tactic in war, so I don't think he'll be buffed yet.
okay, and this is really fortuitous that I've got both of you guys on because obviously I know I said I was going to do any gameplay, but I have to get these champions through this quest so I can do the scrap because we're going to be doing a lot of scrapping and then ranking up champions. Is Civil Warrior potentially good for the next
He's gonna
battle?
be a menace on defense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bryce already has him at rank 3.
He's nullify
Yeah,
immune.
the thing with Civil Warrior that makes him particularly dangerous, in my opinion, is that neutralizes against Civil Warrior act how they would for his armor ups, like how they do with things unstoppable. So you can't really counter him with a neutralize, and you can't use nullify or stagger. So you really have very limited options against Civil Warrior.
Right. What nerd means is that the neutralize has to be active when the armor break tries to trigger.
And then he's nullify immune too, correct?
Right.
So you need to use an armor break on him, like we're seeing here with Rocket.
No, it's like you could use somebody like Medusa who has very high armor break uptime. You could use somebody like Null and hit into block. But I think realistically, the only way you're getting enough points to win most rounds against Civil Warrior is to just use a Power Burn immune.
I do think Null will work quite well with his armor up stuff. It works really well in Alliance War, so I wouldn't see any reason why it wouldn't, because the Living Abyss stops the armors before they would have the power burn, so instead of having to like hit block for like the whole fight, you just hit block until you have the L1, and then you're golden.
Interesting. That's right. Null's armor break thing, or not armor break, Null's armor removal, you can just hit into the block to access it, right?
Yep, and blocked hits do not trigger the power burn, so...
Right. My only worry with Null is speed.
Yeah. For sure. But, I mean, I think speed is going to be a lot less important this mode. I think if you're playing a deck correctly, as long as you have, like, a decent fight, you're probably going to have a good chance at winning, because the meta really does not incentivize what you would generally consider, like, nukes and all.
Right. I think
And
where I
Null
was
is
going...
low.
Yeah, where I was going there is more that, like, assuming they're not banned, Civil Warrior is where I would use my Hulkling, my Gallon, my Terrax, even my, like, Venom Pool, probably, because Null, I think, you could use against somebody else where you just, like, get to that 10th hit and then hit into block, and you have to worry about it less, but I don't know, we'll see. It's hard to know what the priorities are going to be.
Most people will... I do think the Null stuff is a lot easier than most people will think it is. I've seen a lot of the fights that we've seen from Alliance War, and it really just seems smooth with Null's playstyle.
Yeah. No, I've sent him plenty on Path 3. My concern is more a opportunity cost one, but for some decks, that's not even going to be a choice you have, so we'll see. So
this is the first time I've ever fought Jessica Jones. That SP2 animation of hers takes up some space. It's a long one. Did she learn that from Daredevil? That's ultimately
there used to be a longer pause in the middle of it.
Oh, really?
And I think we got it shortened slightly because every single dev got punched in the face by the end of it.
Yeah. Oh, I've never fought her before. And so I ran straight in. I was like, oh, it's obviously over. And then she did like 6 more animations afterwards.
Yeah. It used to be worse.
Oh, that's funny. Here is what everyone knows is my new favorite champion in the world, Mantis. I actually do like her. I should be nice.
And she is a good Jessica counter.
Yeah. I just want to slow down my combos, right?
It's more you want to try and make sure Tranquilize is active when Jessica throws her specials.
Okay.
or when you throw yours, unless it's ending the fight. Reason being that the way Jessica works is her scary abilities, the unstoppable, the unblockable, and the resistances, trigger because she will put debuffs on you and then gain effects for how many debuffs are on you. And so if you are completely stopping the debuffs, then the effects don't happen.
Hey, why did I lose my my mixed emotions?
Did you get knocked down?
No. I did earlier.
Did you heavy?
Yeah.
Yeah, even one heavy, even if you don't charge, consumes all of them.
There we go. Okay. So learning things. So on this node with that protection, I did not mean to do that. I'm going to do that so many times in Ghost Dogs tournament. Strikers are not allowed to be used. I told him, like, dude, you better be prepared to kick me out of your tournament because I accidentally trigger it all the time still. So this node kind of hurts Mantis versus Jessica Jones, it feels like.
Yeah, you would probably need to not do the cancel thing, but literally just, like, heavy, idle, get tranquilized back up, and then intercept her with the special 2 kind of thing. Or even a sidestep.
Yeah. I really think the best way to handle Jessica Jones, outside of, like, the, cleanse, will probably to be just using champs where you don't throw specials with. So, like, your Nick Furies, your Omega Reds, stuff like that, where you just kill them with combos. Worked really well for me.
So you're saying that Omega Red and Nick Fury will finally be good for something, huh?
Yeah, I know, right. Niche. I finally got a place to shine. I can finally use my R4s.
I know. So. I felt so badly for both of those champions. Like no one ever uses them.
Yeah.
I think we've had quite a few more people show up. What's up, Neto? How you doing, buddy? I think Ozfan showed up. In my mind, I said hello to him. But I don't know if I did out loud though.
God, I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say She-Hulk and Strife both handle her quite well too.
Strife.
Because Strife can handle both unblockable and unstoppable. You would have to deal with the resistances, but as long as he can get some crits in, he at least controls the fight.
He says Yusuf is in the corner yelling, "Use a cleanse champ, use a cleanse champ."
I actually, he doesn't even know. No one knows because I haven't put out the video yet. I've already filmed Monday's video, and in it, I tell people that if they want to see some Jessica Jones gameplay, they should check out Yusufa's channel. Because Yusuf, didn't you take her into like incursions recently? I feel like he did. She's just gonna hold on to this unstoppable for a really long time, right?
Yep.
At least it's gone now. But I did. I took Iron Fist up to rank 3 Sig 1. I feel comfortable letting everyone on the stream know he's still not good. He is still not good.
Yeah, he's not.
He's really not good.
I was looking at my classic and thinking about it, and then I checked his heavy, and I was like, oh, precision, fury, and cruelty. Not armor.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Yeah. And I don't know if I made it clear. I actually did the Immortal Iron Fist because I've had him for so long. I don't remember how long ago I pulled him, but it's been a while, long enough that I forgot about it. And I was like, maybe, and we've got so many materials coming in, thanks to Banquet. I mean, I'll only commit to rank 3. And yeah, he still sucks.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? All right, come on, raccoon. That rupture's not doing nothing. Holy cow. Shoot. I really don't want to have to use items on this.
Oh, man.
It'll be fine if I do, but it's fine. Snoops, what's up, dude? English, what's going on, buddy? I think I said hello to Joey, but if I didn't, what's up, Joey? How you doing, Wolf? Dombadeus. So I've got 3 Volume 1 Karina's left. Kamala, Star-Lord, and humans. Are any of them worth doing at this point? Jeez.
I mean, it depends on how you approach your account. I've kind of always been of the opinion that if there are rewards on the table, and I'm sitting on 4-hour free crystals or some other way to get items, I might as well go for the rewards. But
yeah, I mean, that's a full cost benefit analysis on that one, right? Like, here, I'll try to get this Jessica down, and I'll show you. Like, I haven't finished up 2, and I don't know if I ever will, because as time goes on, I think the rewards become less valuable. You know?
Yeah.
And I do believe that all of the things I have left will cost me items. Like, they just will. I don't think it's within my skill wheelhouse to not have it happen. And so as a result, I think I'm probably better off. I don't want to. I threw an SB2 into her protection once already. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. And I will say, because I believe this has already been teased on the forum, so it's fair. If you're trying to decide whether to empty your stash of free crystals right now on content, maybe wait a few weeks.
Yep, it was teased for the final EOP thing coming out next month, so that's going to be exciting. I'm really excited for that. I think it'll be great.
Wait, hold on, because I don't want to place DL in a spot where because I know what that's like, and he is he's like my level but exponentially higher, where I'm like, okay, I know this was said in CCP. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it now. I can't remember, so I don't say anything, and I don't want to do it to DL because obviously he knows significantly more than I do. Nerd, you're saying that something involving EOP was teased for next month, January?
Yep, on the forums. I think Kabam Mike made a comment about it on the forums.
Oh, wow. Okay, and DLL, is that... How do I ask you this? Is that... Do you have
that
any
is my
follow-up
understanding of what is public at the moment.
Cool, yes. Cool. Yeah, I was like, how do I ask that without either answer from you giving away information? Okay.
I very much appreciate your discretion. I gave my chat a small lecture earlier this week on the fact that while, yes, I am a YouTuber and you traditionally go to YouTubers and ask them questions about news, I am possibly the worst person to treat as a news board in the entire community because I have about 4 different levels of what I know versus what I'm allowed to talk about.
Yeah, you've got like a high level, let's call it security clearance. Let's make this sound as fun as possible. So I didn't want to place you in that weird spot, but kind of to the question, like, if I could just like pay an Odin and get these, I probably would. Cost benefit analysis. This is how I approach it. Is like I can't do that. I'm not even sure I could do that without spending at least that much in items. Plus the time it would take me to do it. I probably wouldn't be able to stream them because, again, the time, like finding the time to actually do it and stream it, which means I'm just doing it on my own, which means it's taking away time that I'm like recording stuff for a video, or I'm doing war, or God, AQ, or something like that. So like it's all going to be personal. So I know that's not really the answer you were hoping for. And I don't even remember what the rewards were for Volume 1. They probably weren't as good as Volume 2's, right? So
it depends on where your account is.
Yeah.
I will say, looking at these, I think that I actually enjoyed the Green Goblin one. You definitely have the roster for it.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and like the A-Force one takes like 45 minutes to an hour. So like you could probably set up some streaming time and just do a couple of them without it being an issue. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from.
Well, I mean, like, honestly, I could probably do the bottom 3 there. Teams of Plenty, King of Combo, and Hunk of Junk.
I will be right back.
Yeah. Take your... none of those should take that long, right?
The King of the Combo one sucks.
Oh, really?
That took me like 2 hours. I actually broke it up in between 2 different streams because I had something I had to go do.
Okay. Well, maybe I could do that. And then, because it's only a 3-star, right? So it's not like I'm taking champions out of potential use from a Alliance War.
Yeah, exactly. Like the bottom one is just Guillotine 2099 the whole way. You can rank up Nimrod if you want. The A-Force Illuminati one is She-Hulk and Mr. Fantastic. That is all you need. You can bring Magneto if you want. And then, yeah, Aegon is obviously Aegon.
Stepping back into Abyss, just I don't know. Maybe it'd be good for me. I don't know. I mean, I love the rewards. If I got them, I think I'd be close to getting another rank 4, which I wouldn't mind doing. So never say never, but just kind of point out the like I said, the personal cost benefit. Carl's here. What is up, dude? What is up? For sure. Carl, you do not know how close I was to having to ask that. But For Loki continues to, I don't know what they see in me, but they seem to accommodate me and be willing to do it. So I'm going to continue to press along with that. But I was very close. DLL knows, where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Tier 1 War anymore. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Jay, well, what's up, dude?
I've thought about it a few times as well.
Yeah, it is what it is. Pop Images, what's up, dude? Snoops, I think we said hello, but if not, what's up, dude? Tobias. Command Mike said they understood that there were 4 EOPs and 5 stages of grief, and there was going to be something similar. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I did see that. I was aware of that. Luke, what's up, dude? What is my favorite Street Fighter character besides Vega? I mean, everyone liked Ryu, right? And Ken. I gotta remember, like, my day of Street Fighter is like way back to Street Fighter 2. I believe it was Blanca. I think it was Blanca was the character from Brazil, if I remember correctly. I did like Chun-Li, of course. The knockoff Mike Tyson character, he was a boss. I can't remember his name right now. But I'm gonna have to, if I had to just pick one, I'd go with Guile. He was like different enough. I really liked him. Any plans for a relic tier list showing best champs for each? ASRs, honestly, not now. No. And there's 2 reasons for me. Bullrog, thank you, guys. OG Highline and Hammies. What's up, dude? Hammy, how you doing? And Hammy, welcome to the Discord server. It's nice to have you there. What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, the relics. Yeah, it's twofold. One is I honestly just don't know that much about them. Here, I'll even show you guys my relics. Like, I just don't know that much about them right now. They seem good. I'm happy about them, and I'm actually appreciative. It feels a little weird with DLL being a Kabam employee now, but I'm actually, and he and I've talked about this. I'm appreciative that I don't feel like Kabam is making this something that you need to have right now. Like, I'm continuing to clear content. I'm doing Alliance War. I'm doing AQ. I'm doing Battleground. And not once have I thought, oh, if I just had that relic, I would have soloed this fight, or I would have saved. And so I really appreciate that, because I feel like they maybe could have done that in some ways. There could be nodes, or I don't know what. And so I'm kind of enjoying this kind of slow rollout to them. I know that also means that they don't feel overly powerful right now, but if I look at it, I've only got one Awakened, and it's a 4-star Storm. So I have a feeling that they may become much more powerful feeling in over time, like, I don't know, 2 months, 6 months, a year from now, because they clearly seem to have so much growth potential. Like, I don't even have a 6-star one. And so as a result, I'm actually excited about them. But no, tier list for me is I just don't know enough about them. I want to at least have a working knowledge of something before I go out there and say, hey guys, here's the best version of this. And then 2 is I do feel like, and DLL, please correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, I do feel like Kabama said, we really reserve the right, and it's actually a good thing for game balance to change them, not on like a moment's notice. I'm not creating a boogeyman situation here, but like, we can create them if something unintended or something has happened that it was not foreseeable. And so, again, with them being so new, I don't want to come out and say like, hey, the Juggernaut one is amazing, because I know people will watch that. They'll maybe potentially rank theirs up, or they'll chase it. And then what I showed ends up being like, hey, that wasn't intended. We need to change it. So DL, actually kind of am asking you a question there. Was anything I said kind of inaccurate as far as...
No, I think that's all fair, because like, balance passes are such an important part of healthy games that was definitely an expectation we wanted to set from the beginning, was that this is such a wide-ranging, potentially dangerous can of worms to open that we want to reserve the right to mess with it if we need to. But the other thing about relic tier lists specifically is that they're very hard to do, because depending on which of two ways you approach them, the list would look completely different. You either come at them as like, I want to put these relics on the characters where they give the largest bump, where there's the largest delta. Like Juggernaut on Juggernaut is a good one. Storm on Storm is a good one. Or you come at it the other way around and you're like, I want to put these relics on the strongest characters in my roster where they do literally anything. And I don't particularly care how much I'm raising the overall average. And you're going to get very, very different lists. Like Juggernaut on Rintra is a good example of the latter. Or if somebody puts a relic on Nick, despite the fact that there is nothing that's really helping bleeds right now, just because the striker lets you do 2 light combos in a row, right? So you're going to get probably as tier lists for relics come out, you're going to get people going very hard one way or the other, and they're both going to be right in one way or another. And so I personally would probably avoid that, because it sounds like a great way to get into really heated arguments where you're just talking past each other.
Yeah. Like if I pull one and I realize like, hey, this is really cool here, I'll show it. But the tier list, and sorry, I realize it's just a simple question, but it is interesting to me, so that's why we're talking about it so much. A tier list just feels like a whole different animal, so that's kind of why. OG Highland, going back to the Street Fighter 2, can't forget M. Bison and yeah. Raul. Oh, yeah, that's right, Raul. Thank you. Yeah. I was like, wait, who? Snoops. All Vega needs is a different place to put the striker button. I really do, Snoops. If it was like, I played WoW forever. This goes forever ago. Is you could like configure where you put stuff. I really need a different place for it, or just get used to it. And I've noticed it happens more if I'm streaming, and I think it's because of how I like hold the phone and stuff. But I think
there has been some discussion of trying to make that configurable. It's just a bit of a nightmare to code.
Yeah, and let's not break the game. Well, just so, but I'm sure I'm not the only person. If you guys are even considering it,
yeah, for sure. Oh, hey, Campo.
Campo's here.
He just stopped by.
Oh, what's up, dude? Thanks for being here, dude. Gabriel, you probably didn't see my message. Yeah, I just didn't, man. Before I said my plans are staying positive and next year, like always. I love that. Stay fit as now. I got to work on that. I got to work on that myself.
Same.
And continue to eat healthy. Those all go together, dude. Eat healthy, sleep well, and stay fit. Keep working out. Congratulations, dude. Keep it going. Glad to hear it. Sounds like you did it well in 2022. Keep it going. That is awesome. I'm going to be working on the same things myself. Got really nice donations from ZC33. I appreciate everything you do for the MCO community. I'm excited for 23. Can't wait for the next meetup. You got that right, buddy. It might not be until, as far as official meetups, it might not be until Vancouver. I got to talk to Kabam Mike about it because he did voice some interest in it. I don't want to put words in his mouth. But as far as at least hosting and maybe being part of it, or something like that, I do think that would be really fun. I truly do. And we might do a more like casual one in Oakland. It seems like there's a lot of people in the Bay Area who play the game who said they would be interested in doing it. And so I could see like Oakland, Berkeley, if you know that area, being a really fun place for it. And it's only a few BART stops away for me. So that'd be fun. Zach, what's up, dude? I heard the next meetup is in the Midwest. Oh, man. I should have read that message before I answered that one. We could consider it. I would love to go out and see my boys like DLL and Campo and things like that. Neither of them are really technically in the Midwest, though. There was talk of a Chicago one. I think Ghost Dog and Infamous and I cannot believe I can't think of his name. Shows you I'm not feeling the best. Taters, I think, and others might be able to do one in Chicago. So that could be a lot of fun. I actually have a family member in Chicago, so maybe I could swing that and make that happen.
Yeah.
I'm also here now. I just didn't want to interrupt.
Hey, what's up, dude?
How's everybody doing?
Really well. How are you? Bryce,
Good, thanks. I just got off of work.
I have a question for you. So you just showed up, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Have you seen the TV show Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. Did you like it? I hope you liked it.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it was fun.
So I'm only 6 episodes in, so I haven't seen the final 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but every time the young man who kind of like works out or runs the coffee shop comes up,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I think he looks like my friend Bryce. Now, I've only seen like photos of you. In fact, I don't know, like on Instagram. I don't know if I should even say that, so I apologize. I was already saying it as I was coming out. Is that pretty accurate? Do you feel like you look like that actor?
Okay, I had to look at a picture of him again.
Everyone's like, "What are we doing?" I told you guys. Apparently, I'm turning this into I ask anything, not I answer anything.
It's okay. We got a question I can jump on in a second.
I mean, like, I can see like a little bit, yeah.
All right. I mean, it's definitely a compliment, right? I mean, he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted you to know, every time I watch that show, I feel like, oh, there's my friend Bryce.
Yeah, I could see it a bit. I got a different, like... Yeah, no, we look pretty similar, actually.
I like how you like slowly embraced it. Whatever. We'll jump off this topic. But DLL, you said you had something?
Yeah, P-Dubs asked in the chat, are the champion designers also the relic designers? And if so, what's more fun to work on? So short answer, yes. When it comes to anything designed like that, it's pretty much all the same team. That goes for actually building the nodes in quests, although it's usually the quest designers that come up with the effects they'd like to see. That goes for champions, that goes for relics, that goes for building and coding the unique bosses like Citalis. That's all my team. We call it the BCG team internally. And we kind of rotate through that. On any given month, there's obviously like 2 of us working on the champions that come out. There's probably 2 people actively working on the next month's champions. And then everyone else is rotating through other kinds of design work. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to ask you kind of a follow-up on that. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, I was just going to answer as far as which one is more fun. I haven't gotten to work on a batch of relics yet. I probably will at some point, so I can't speak directly to this, but from the outside looking in, I think relics are very cool, but champion design is probably more fun until you've been working long enough that the novelty of relics really appeals to you. Because normally my team, while we have to concern ourselves with balance, that's not what our job is primarily. Whereas the minute you step into relics, you have to start thinking along the lines of like, okay, I want a relic that like makes, I don't know, Venom cooler, but I want that relic to not completely freaking break somebody else. So like I need to come up with generic abilities that are cool and fun and effective, but I have to think about how it affects all 30 cosmic champions. And like that's just like it's a different level of stress, and I think an extra layer of kind of inhibition that you have to put on yourself that you don't really have with champions, where it's like, yeah, you don't want to make a champion completely busted, but at the same time you're kind of like, all right, this is a cosmic, I'm gonna have them do cosmic-y things, but I for the most part have a lot of control here.
So there was multiple points where, and for those who don't know, DL has actually granted me an interview. His first champion will be coming out next month, and he's granted me an interview for it. I'm really excited about it, and I actually put it up on my community page as a chance for you to write in the comments questions you'd like him to ask. Within literally minutes of it going up, there was, I think, 5 questions I saw that all 5 of them I was like, that's a great question. So if you have questions, first of all, you've got him here, you can ask. But remember, he didn't say he'd answer anything, but so let's keep that in mind. But you've got him here, you can ask. But if you have others that come up, make sure you ask there. But DL, if we were doing that interview, there's already a couple that I would want to ask. The first one that I was really curious hearing you talk was, like, and I don't know how much you can answer this, is how far out do you know? In other words, like if someone was like, hey, I've got this cool idea for a cosmic relic, and it's gonna have a new ability called like inverse punch or whatever, okay? And it's gonna have this new mechanic. Like, how far out is there ability for someone to say like, oh dude, great idea, but I'm already putting that into the champion for July, and so maybe we can't do that. Like, how does that work out? Or is that hypothetical, not very realistic, or whatever?
No, I think that's fair to ask, because I'm trying to imagine, like, the first giant release of Relics, the Big 12.
Yeah.
That was a very long-term project that one designer worked on mostly by himself, kind of all at the same time.
Okay.
But future batches of Relics are, at least our current cadence is 3 at a time with one designer, and it's over the same like 2-month, the same roughly 2-month window that we also use for champion development. And so that's kind of your answer. Like, the champions that would be far enough along for you as the relic designer to react to are pretty much the ones that are coming out in the same build or earlier. But there will probably be sketches further out. Like, maybe you come up with that idea and somebody is working on, let's say, a skill champion for the build that comes out, but their next character 2 months down the line is a cosmic, and they've already sketched some things out, and they're like, oh, that's cool. What it would probably be is more along the lines of like, all right, well, this is where I'm planning on going for that, so make sure that whatever trigger you put that new ability on works with what I'm imagining for their kit right now.
Okay.
And I will keep that in mind as I flesh them out in the future, but probably that relic is going to be aimed at champions already in the game now.
That makes a lot of sense, especially because like I created a whole new ability, and I could be wrong because I don't know all the relics that well. I don't feel like any of the current relics created a whole new ability.
It kind of depends on what you mean, because like Amplify, I believe, is technically new. It's similar to some stuff that we had already done, but some of the relics are working that way. But yeah, we try not to add new abilities in the relics.
Okay.
Like, if somebody doesn't have Nullify, it's kind of a guiding vision for us that we don't put Nullify in a relic.
Okay. Well, I'm taking ownership rights over Inverse Punch, because that sounded cool.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds cool.
It sounded terrible. Even as I said, I was like, God, that sounds terrible. Zach is saying, I'm sorry, what's Ohio? Uh-oh, this could turn into a thing. I think I do this to you every time, dude. I'm sorry if I don't know if it's Gabriel or Gabrielle, but either way, I didn't think it sounded cocky at all, actually. It sounded to me like it was very self-affirming. Like, if you were like, I'm in better shape than the rest of you fools, I'd be like, okay, that's a little cocky. But I think it sounded to me like you were just like proud of an achievement and something you want to keep going forward. I think that's really important. Positive self-talk is a big deal. I don't want to turn this into a self-motivation stream, but I do think that's really important. I think accepting flaws and where we've come from and mistakes that we made, and then talking positively to get through those is a big deal. So I said it. I read out loud what you wrote for a reason. I think you should be very proud of yourself. And I'm going to speak very positively about my efforts for 2023 too. Charlie Vega, who should I rank? Who should my next rank for be, Hulkling or Wiccan? I love Wiccan. I don't know if there's a bigger Wiccan fan out there. Actually, he might be on call if Bryce is still here. So let's let him answer this too.
That's me.
But for me,
I was going to say it's probably me.
You're like, hold on there, Chief. I'm a bigger fan. I think Hulkling all day, every day. I just put out all those videos on like the best this and the best that in each class. My server ranked them. It was so much fun. Hulkling all day, every day, twice on Sundays.
We can ask more of you.
Yeah. So
I'll hop in on this as well. I again love Wiccan. Objectively, like I'm pretty sure he's my favorite champ in the game. that I currently have in my roster. And as much as I love him, as much as I love to use him, I recommend that you go Hulkling. He's just a monster. He's such an outstanding champion, and I don't have him myself, but if I had the choice right now of taking Wiccan or Hulkling up to rank 4, and it was one or the other, I would choose Hulkling almost every time.
So you guys probably didn't notice I put up a poll because I'm going to take a few, at least 2, maybe more champions to rank 2. Medusa for this next Battlegrounds meta. Are we thinking, hey, she could be really amazing, or like, not too much?
I think she'll be great.
Nerd,
because
did you say
Armor
something?
Shatter reduces armor up ability accuracy by 100%. It means that you don't have to worry about it as soon as you get it up.
Okay. Does anyone disagree? Anyone on call disagree?
Oh, I just thought you might have said something, Nerd. I was asking if you said something.
Oh yeah, I said I think she'll be very decent. She will if you don't get the... Before you get the armor shatter up, she will take a bit of power burn damage. Sorry, that was taking a while to say. But she's still gonna, I think, have high enough points to definitely win a lot of rounds.
Cool.
Yeah.
And everyone I put into these polls is someone I'm interested in ranking up anyway. So no one literally, like, I don't know if Lax wanted to do it. He ended up, did you guys see, he ended up taking Thanos to rank 4 Sig 200 because he put up a poll like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he immediately went in the CCP and said, hey, buff Thanos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him, right? Like, I'd be like, hey, so I may have ranked up Thanos because I said I would, and people actually voted for it.
And rather than face the consequences of my actions, I was wondering if y'all would be willing to do me a solid.
yeah, exactly, right? All right, so I'll wait for let's see who the number 2 vote was. It's tied between Nova and Electro. Do you think either the 4 people or 3 people on call, Electro just took a slight lead. Nova or Electro, DLL, Bryce, and Nerd. You guys will be the deciding vote on that one.
I think Electro for this next Battlegrounds meta is going to be very interesting, just since you're already limited in the options you can use. I think there's a chance that he'll actually be like a solid defender.
I think that's probably true. He definitely would have been a lot nastier if the node were not getting fixed the way it is so that ability accuracy works better against it. Because that really opened it up to a few skill champions that otherwise wouldn't have been good. But I get where Nerd is coming from, because we kind of talked about earlier, like, a lot of options in this meta will tend to be slower because you have to play around the node. And so that both makes the chip damage Electro puts on you more important, and it kind of mitigates his biggest defensive weakness, which is that he has like 6 health.
6 not being a lot. Bryce, it sounds like we've got 2 votes for Electro. What do you think?
Yeah,
I also have a rank for Nova.
Yeah. I'm more inclined to say Electro because, as has been said, the counters are a little bit more specific for him. Nova, you just take any Mystic against him, and then you're actually feeding Mystics because of the armor ups if you're able to have a Nullify to immediately remove that effect. Whereas Electro, you're pretty much relying on your ability accuracy reduction champs. And if you don't have that, then you're going to take either damage from him and his ability, or the node if you're just using regular armor breaker, or both, and he could cause a lot of chip damage.
Cool. I think I have like a Sig 180 Electro now too. So
jeez, dude.
He's got a really fun synergy. Is it with Scorpion? I feel like Scorpion was the one who made everyone a lot better all of a sudden. So he could be fun to mess around with.
I believe so. Let me double check.
All right, you guys in chat have a good New Year's Eve. I'm gonna head out now.
Take care, Nerd. Great to hang out with you, dude.
Talk to you later.
I think we all said that at the same time, so he probably just heard a bunch of noise.
He probably didn't hear anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, knowing him, he had already hung up. All right, cool. So I'm going to take a look at my. Go ahead.
Actually, Spidey Supreme has a pretty cool synergy with him. I don't know how well it works
Same designer, so that
in
checked
practice, but that's kind of dope. It says when attacking, 20% chance to inflict a shock passive on himself and the opponent, dealing 30% of attack as energy damage over 10 seconds. But you want to have shocks on you because it gives you extra attack rating and thorns damage. That's pretty cool.
Maybe that's the one, because I feel like Mike either talked about it a lot in Alliance chat or he made a video on it. I don't recall which one, so that would make sense. So I think because it was Mike, I just assumed it was Scorpion. Before we go too far, Fusky, dude, thank you so much for becoming a member, man. I really enjoyed it. Fusky was like one of my first channel members ever, and we've maintained a little bit of contact there via Discord, which has been really cool. And he's got an interesting question for all of us as I sit here and just get a bunch of tier 5 basic for a while so we can take some champs to rank 3. I said, I'm sure everyone's seen Maguson's 2 rank 5 6 stars by now. How about that? I think it's awesome to see. I can't wait.
How about that? Yeah.
How about
Yeah,
that?
how about that is a good way to put it.
I'm probably the only person old enough here. Let's see if does anyone else remember that from Inside Baseball? I think it was Inside Baseball. Or was it Harry Carey, the Chicago Cubs announcer? Be like, how about that? Anyways, I think it's awesome to see, and I can't wait to hopefully see some gameplay from both Scorpion and Nick soon. I'll give my thoughts on it. As far as someone who's playing this game and interested in it lasting a very long time, I'm like, go for it, Magus. You sure you don't want 5 of them? You know? Because you guys have heard my spiel on these things before. Like, whaling is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365 job. Like, Magus, I don't know if it's a male or female or what, so I'm just going to say they have purchased themselves a heck of a nice advantage. Could be for 2 months. Like, literally, we don't know. Sounds like there's talk of something EOP-ish coming out in January. Rank 5 might be the rewards. We literally have no clue. But I am positive one thing is that they did not buy themselves today or the last 2 weeks a permanent, everlasting advantage. They just flat out didn't. They bought themselves something with a time limit. I hope they had a lot of fun doing it. And as someone who's interested financially in this game doing very well, I'm very excited about it. I'm happy to hear. I really would love, and I think TJ has joined us on call here too. I'd love to have all you guys kind of give your thoughts on it. And people in the chat, let us know, because maybe you see it a different way, and I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well.
What's up, TJ?
Ask me hi.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, guys?
Good.
Excellent.
I mean,
how close to? Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I know. I said it. I said everyone talk, and then now I'm interrupting you. Very me. Is TJ? Is it midnight for you? In 4 minutes?
No, it's still a couple hours for me yet.
Okay, I'm bad with math, so that's fine. All right, so if we could go, let's go DLL, TJ, then Bryce on your thoughts on the rank 5s.
I mean, obviously. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I must have misheard it as order. But obviously, I have a bit of a financial incentive in it. So
Yeah.
for me to say it's good is weird. Personally, I don't even think it's that good. But it's more along the lines of like Vega said, it's a small enough advantage that will last a small enough amount of time in exchange for so much money.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't heard people talk about, like, conservatively how much money that is, I think the math I've seen is that the guy probably put down around 500 grand minimum.
Yep.
I remember hearing that apparently he had to do a direct bank transfer just because it'd be too slow to buy all the Odins.
I did not know that was something we did, but I also have heard that. I will try to confirm that next week because I'm kind of curious.
You got in touch with the financial team and sent them the money directly, and they just loaded the units onto his account manually.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
I know how to do that with the software, so it makes sense. I just never heard of it before.
There's extreme, and then there's that.
Yeah. But like, it's so much money. And here's the way I think about it.
Yeah.
It's so much money that isn't coming from someone else.
Mm-hmm.
$500,000 from one person is a whole lot of sigils and nickel and dime offers and potion monetization that doesn't hit other people. Right?
Yeah, I don't think I've made that much in my entire life.
I certainly
Oh, I
haven't.
certainly haven't. Yeah.
Not yet,
Yeah, I was
anyway.
gonna say, definitely not. I've not even made a fraction of that.
Yeah, and so that's kind of my personal thing is like, the lights have to stay on one way or another, right? There are a lot of people who really care about this game and want to put a lot of their creative self into it. But
Yeah.
that requires that it keep them in their apartments with food on the table and working towards retirement, right? And so
Yeah.
there's certain costs to that. And personally, I think this is one of the best ways for that cost to be paid. I am still shocked. Like, it's
I mean,
so.
one thing I do like about him is that he ranked up champs that aren't purely prestige, even
Yeah.
being in TCN.
Yeah, that's
Because even still, like, he's taken up champs that, one, are good, two, he probably really enjoys, instead of just focusing on prestige, just to get that slight extra advantage.
yep. That actually sorry,
That's healthy.
I know I'm interrupting, so I apologize, but that actually really
Oh,
shocked me.
that's
And that was part of why when people started showing screenshots, like I know on Discord, I was like, guys, I've seen this screenshot game before. Until I see it in a game, I don't really believe anything. Because Photoshop's so good these days and whatever. And what part of what made me feel that way was I was like, no, he's obviously going to do Quicksilver and Infamous Iron Man. And then I saw like, no, it's in game. I was like, okay, I kind of respect that. Like,
Yeah.
it made me. I already was fine with that. I gave my spiel, but I thought that was actually kind of cool. Not that Iron Doom and Quicksilver aren't good. I think they're both great, but I did like that it was Fury, and not that I was asked, but I liked it.
Right. And I will say to that point, from a math standpoint, this is less true for Fury, but especially for Scorpion, something I said a lot for rank 4s versus rank 3s is that if you rank 4 somebody other than a Max Sig Doom, you still have a rank 3 Max Sig Doom, right?
Yeah.
And so Magus still has
Oh yeah.
a Max Sig rank 4
Yeah.
iDoom, Quicksilver, and Surfer holding up the fort, and their advantage over the next few options is still big enough that like Quicksilver probably cost him like literally a handful of points relative to iDoom. Nick probably cost a little bit more, but like, yeah.
I mean, being the only person with rank 5 still, I feel like he can afford to choose. I say afford. He can. I feel like he can do whoever he wants for the first couple, and then when rank 5s become more common, then start doing the major prestige rank ups because everybody else will be doing the same.
Yeah.
Like the people that are getting rank 5s later on that also want to compete in that top 5 for AQ, they'll want to be ranking up the prestige champs first. Magus is ranking up the more useful champions first, and then going on to prestige afterwards, probably. Unless he's leaving TCN for whatever reason.
Hold on, I wanna because a couple of people are saying, because we're all being not like pro it. I don't think this is one where you can be necessarily pro or against. Like I don't know, because none of us really get a say, really. Is Tobias saying, I've never minded paying for a temporary advantage. However, I hope that with this there is a way to the game to earn the materials. I think there absolutely will, and kind of what I'm saying, and maybe I was a little flippant about it, was like if I've been playing so long, I remember when it was like the first rank 3s, and like someone had 2, and then it was 3, and now we're at the point where like I'm literally just ranking champions rank 3 for funsies, and so that advantage of having some people I think have like 100 now, when a lot of other players who they're competing with now have 90, it's like that advantage is pretty minuscule. So that's kind of what I'm saying. There definitely will ways to earn the materials. There has to be for the game to progress. And then Hammy's making, I think, a pretty interesting point here with, I wonder if spending that much money on the game adversely affects the modest spenders because it incentivizes Cam to make deal packages that don't cater to us as modest spenders. Hammy, I hear you. I really do. And what I'm going to kind of like my confidence relies on is that Kabam already knows what they're doing. This isn't their first banquet event. Well, it is their first banquet, but it's not their first gifting event. And that's why there's only one of these a year. Like this is, and correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, please tell me. This is the only one where you can just be unlimited. You can unlimited purchase, and it's still RNG, rank up materials. Everything else, there's a limit on it, and it's for a champion, not for the actual rank up materials. If I'm wrong, correct me. But I think that's why we continue to see it, and why I know some people said that this is supposed to be the last one ever. I'd be very surprised if this is truly the last event where the holidays, I celebrate Christmas, so Christmas time, but I realize there's other holidays, but at Christmas time, at the holiday time, at the end of the year, that there's a way for people to RNG-wise keep purchasing rank up materials, because I think it is an event it's for everyone, but just these huge spenders come in, get themselves a nice little advantage, have some fun with it, and then over the course of the year, we all kind of catch up and it resets again. That's my thoughts on it. We haven't let Bryce talk yet, so I'd really love to hear from Bryce if they're still there. Then have DLL and TJ kind of give their thoughts.
Yeah, he is still here.
Nice.
I mean, I'm cool with it. This continually happens where we have this happen and people get upset because pay to win and whatever. And you know what? This game is like, you absolutely get an advantage from paying, but then we also see some pretty notable people of the community that are strictly free to play. And it's exactly what has already been said. Yes, you get an advantage, but it's an advantage that is on a clock. And it is an advantage that over time you lose, because these same people that, had 10 rank 4s before most of us had 1 or 2. And now it's at the point where I know that I'm not at all on the free to play side of this game. Like, I spend money on it. I love this game. It's a huge hobby for me. I enjoy it and I want to keep supporting it. But we're at the point where, like you said, people are getting 20 plus rank 4s.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, okay, well, once you surpass the amount, at least in my mind, once you surpass the amount of having a full rank 4 defense and a full AQ team and a full AW team, who cares? Because then you're just giving yourself options, and it's not really like a super notable advantage purely based on star levels, because we've seen rank 3s, of course, right now when we have a bunch of rank 4s out on the field, rank 3s are still extremely viable. And it's the same deal with rank 5s. Rank 4s are still new. We've had rank 4s for a year now, if that. Having one guy spend $500,000 to have a couple of rank 5s doesn't affect 99.9% of the community, aside from Kabam getting revenue in order to stay open, pay their employees, we get cooler stuff. And I mean, we do this cycle every single year when this happens, but we just keep on getting cooler and cooler stuff. I mean, this year has been incredible. And, I'm into that. I like that. Keep on giving us cool stuff. And if, somebody wants to fork out $500 in a single week, or $500,000 in a single week, let them. It's their money. Who cares?
Yeah, it's tough, right? And I think it's emotional for a lot of people. That's why, I try not to say, you're objectively wrong if I feel like they're making an emotional argument. But for the most part, it sounds like we all kind of agree. I realize there's some folks I haven't said hello to. What's up, Ghost Dog? That's the man whose tournament I'm doing this all for. Ghost Dog, you're getting a sneak peek here. I'm trying. I'm going to try to at least win a match in your tournament, my friend. We're starting up next week. I'm really pumped up for it. And then Captain Easy is here. What is up? And then work, dude. Work in progress. We still got Whale in Progress is back there. It's back there. It's named after my buddy Work. We talking blubber. You did show up at the right time, dude.
The funniest thing to Bryce's whole bit there for me is that I'm still using an entirely rank 3 team in AQ.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that.
I have 21, 22 rank 4s, and I'm still using a rank 3. Actually, a full team of rank 3s. And I think I even used like a rank 1 for synergy. So I just like used my rank 3 Herc, rank 1 Cap Infinity War, and then rank 3 Scarlet Witch.
Let's be real though, Herc doesn't really count as rank 3.
Yeah, but you know, that's a whole other thing.
Hey, and we've got sorry, hold on real quick, just because, I mean, Enzo himself is here. I got to acknowledge that. What's up, dude?
Enzo.
Thank you so much for the raid, buddy. I really appreciate you being here. I mean, we're back in the same BG again. It feels right. It feels right being back with Enzo. And then, sorry, there's someone else who I really want to say hello to. Just shut up. Meta. I saw Meta's name. I haven't chatted with my buddy Meta in a long, long time. It's been really cool to follow you on Twitter, dude. See all the fun stuff you're doing out there enjoying life since you quit this old hobby that we call MCoC. And that was really cool to see you at Medieval Times, I think it's called. Medieval Times. I'm pretty sure that's right. We had one near where I grew up, and it was always a good time. So that was cool to see. So thanks for posting that stuff on Twitter, and thanks for still being part of the community, buddy. Sorry, DL, I know I interrupted you. Oh, real quick before, so I have something to do on screen while we're talking. Colossus came in second point. You guys know how little I enjoy playing Colossus, and it is very little. Do you guys see anyone else that would potentially be a good rank 3? Oh, Silver Warrior. Silver Warrior's got to go up for this.
Yes.
Do you guys see anyone else potentially?
Arcus.
I did rank up Silver Warrior. Yeah, Arcus is a great call because you just armor break by standing.
Okay, so Silver Warrior and Arcus will go up. We'll see if we have any mats afterwards. DLL, I know I interrupted you. If you remember what you were saying, if you could go back to it.
No worries. Arcus also takes 90% less power burn damage, I believe, since he reduces the actual power drain by that much, and then power burn is proportional to the amount drained.
Is that just against certain classes, or is that just...
That's blanket.
Ooh,
outright.
All right. Let's go with the bald-headed vampire here. He is a vampire, right? He looks like a vampire.
I think he is an interdimensional being who doesn't have the dimensional being tag. He's from the smoke.
That's correct.
Yeah, something. It's Silver Age. It's not my thing. But what I was going to say, and kind of along the lines of what Luke said about Banquet being so free-to-play friendly, which it very much is that along the lines earlier about the possibility of Kabam not catering to moderate spenders, as someone who's been a moderate spender for years, I don't think there's any risk of that. Because I think... it's easy to look at this like it's a linear thing, right? Where it's like, you have your free-to-play, you have your people who like only buy the sigil, and then you have like dolphins, and then you have whales. And it's just 4 categories, 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you go up, it's easy to go, well, the dolphins have so much more than the sigil people, and the whales have so much more than the dolphins. Clearly they're catering to the biggest people. But if you look at that in terms of how much money is being spent, you're looking at a very, very different curve. A very non-linear curve. And, Vega likes to talk about how whaling is a full-time job. There's also huge diminishing returns. You can get so close to the top. You can easily have a top 10% account, probably just by being active, and just by being active, but also by being active and just getting the sigil. And you can probably easily have a top 5% account by getting the sigil and just spending every once in a while and being a moderate spender, right? Like, there is so much value on offer if you just save up your units, are intelligent with your decisions, take advantage of the stores and the offers when they come up, do the content. Like, there's so much that you can get. And yes, the people at the very top can have what feels like a lot more, but they are spending, like, orders of magnitude more.
Yes.
And they're not getting orders of magnitude more. And I think it's really important to keep that basic difference in mind.
Yeah, like Magus probably in one day spent 15 to 20 times like what I've spent ever.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, no, sorry. Significantly more than that, because I was thinking of a much smaller number that he spent.
It's it's got to be more than all of us on call and in the chat combined.
And then
Easily. I mean, I know work is here, so I'm sure there's some other.
Usafa's the only one who could even start to throw that equation off.
I don't think I've seen Usafa's name for a while, but like I would bet it's all of those combined and then multiplied. Like you add a multiplier kicker, and that was just in one event. So I mean, I don't know. Meta, if you're still there, who is in? Is that a misspell or is that because I don't know that champion? DLL, if you should read chat. I wrote a couple messages there. I hope it's in.
Oh, the Infinite? Yeah, you haven't played Snap.
Oh yeah, Infinite's cool.
And DLL,
I don't even know what the Infinite would do. I've seen him show up in a few comics, and it's basically just like he's from somewhere else and he's strong.
Oh, well, you quickly knew how to pronounce that too. So everyone keep an eye out for Infinite. I don't know. You seem to know a lot about Arcus awfully quickly, my friend. You seem to know a lot about Arcus. You knew Silver Age, Interdimensional Being. I guess those are terms that we've all heard before. Those are probably like on the walls at Kabam's office, right? Like, I imagine that. Usafa is here, just staying quiet.
A phone call. Sorry, I had a phone call. You were talking about Arcus?
Yeah. So I took a quick vote on who to rank. The Colossus was the number 2 vote getter on the poll, and I hate playing Colossus. I just do. Will he be good for the next meta? I did see all the armor break immunity stuff.
For
armor
the most part, yes.
And then ability accuracy reduction, making him stronger, will be pretty good for him. So that means that you only really have Nullify as an option.
And you'll need someone that does that instantly for defense.
Yep.
Wait, why not? I think we cut out there a little bit, or there's something I'm missing that you guys think is really obvious, which is fine. Is why not just tech armor breakers like the duck?
I mean, yeah,
there aren't a lot. Yeah.
Okay. By the time Rocket gets enough scrap to armor break, he'll be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I took so I didn't tell everyone who I've ranked up because we've just been having fun doing this kind of with like a no strong format. I did take up the duck.
Nice.
I took Howard to rank 3 too.
He will be very powerful.
Is that it though? Is it just Howard? We got to take a look at this because maybe I got to have a couple
as
more.
Instantly, that's about it. Because like a lot of tech armor breaks are on the special too.
There's Howard and Vulture. That's all I can think of off the top of my head that are instant.
Yeah, Vulture's a very good shout.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but his also consumes a currency.
Yep.
So I don't think I'm like I don't think this is like whoa, crazy, Vega just figured it all out. Like I don't think it's that insane, but I know some people might not have noticed this yet. I think and I don't think it's intentional. I'm just telling you something I do. Okay, DLL probably already knows what I'm about to say. Is one of the things I tend to do is I tend to notice and look at if DLL or Mike, being Karate Mike, has recently ranked up a champion. Because it's like, I don't think it's intentional, but there is a little element of like, they do know what they're doing,
Yeah, there's something to it.
Yeah. And Mike did just put out a rank 3 Vulture video. And he even says in the video, he's like, I've always loved this champion. Typically, I rank up champions I really enjoy. I don't know why I haven't ranked them up till now, but today was the day. And so I'm like, interesting. It's usually a good idea to follow DLL and Karate Mike. It has not steered me wrong yet, so just keep that in mind. Yeah.
It's just a coincidence that Vulture's going to be really good for next season.
Yeah, purely, yes. It is just a coincidence.
I do also want to shout out, in honor of another community member with odd rank ups, Yondu would do well. I know Kat just took him to rank 4, because his armor removal thing works through block.
Yep.
Oh.
Does he remove it again? I have a rank 3 Yondu.
He pilfers it, and then he gets one himself.
Yep.
So okay, I've already got him. Do I really want to rank up Vulture?
I like him.
Personally, I'm not worried about Colossus because you have like Sigil Witch, you have Yondu if you already have him, you have Howard, you have anybody who's immune to power burn. I'm just not too worried about him.
Okay. I've already forgotten. Oh, you know who I've really enjoyed? I actually played them more for this meta. I was like, I forced them into some matchups. Is Cull Obsidian? Have we been kind of...
I'm going to use mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna test some stuff out because I've always liked him a lot.
Right.
He was my second rank 3, and I have been debating taking him up to rank 4. Just because of how strong he actually is.
Hold on, let's put a little pin in that for a second because we got a question here. Chicago Mamba. So I think you're talking about who was just talking. They're saying you sound like Sean Connery. That's not bad. Again, I'm old enough to remember when Sean Connery,
a few miles off.
Yeah,
but I got you.
He wasn't the guy that you're making fun of on Jeopardy on Saturday Night Live. That's TJ. It's Tom Jarvis, runs a really great channel, a lot of Battleground.
I'll say that as a compliment. I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, it is a compliment in my opinion. He's the guy who literally makes Legacy scared when they play Battlegrounds against each other, and he's got a really cool channel. I highly recommend check it out. TJ, if you want to throw it in the chat there so people can take it out.
Yeah, thank you. I've just hit 500 as well today.
Congratulations! I really have been enjoying watching your side. I know you said you were sick and stuff. But I've enjoyed, even though I saw Legacy side of it, I've enjoyed watching your side too.
I've played him twice and I still can't beat him.
Yeah, but in my tournament, you guys went down to literally the last fight. Like,
yeah,
literally the last fight. So, I mean, yeah, take it for what it's worth. Who were we just saying that I've already lost? Silver Warrior should go up, right?
It was Cull Obsidian.
Yes.
It was Cull Obsidian.
So yeah, I'll make my Cole thing and then I'll hand it back over to you guys because you guys were. I was actually really entertained listening to you guys. Yeah, so I played Cole, and what I'm wondering is he gonna just end fights in his first SB2?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say maybe.
It'll be slightly RNG based because obviously when you first start, he's not going to have the full ramp up, so it's not going to be 100% chance on each hit to armor break. I think it's only 50, I think, to start with.
Yeah, but it's very often enough, in my opinion. I think that he's definitely going to... I wouldn't use him on somebody like Civil Warrior, where you feel like you need the armor break to be there.
Yeah, yes.
But generic defenders where you're just worried about the chitin charges rolling over every 10 hits and you feel like you need the armor break for them, I think he's going to crush.
Yeah. He's very underrated in Battlegrounds as well. I remember in the beta where there was a smaller health pool, I think the fastest time I got with him was against a Penny Parker in 19 seconds with Cull.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at is like, I'm wondering, even outside of this meta, if he will be potentially so quick that defenders...
He has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I'm genuinely, and am I insane, or will I really regret it? I'm going to be able to probably take 3 champions to rank 4 here very soon when Banquet rewards come in. I'm genuinely considering him as Sig 200 rank 4 purely for Battlegrounds.
I think, two things. I think I probably would in your case, but I don't think I would take him to Sig 200.
Why?
Yeah, for Battlegrounds, I'd not take him to Sig 200.
Why?
Because the fight is not going to last for the duration of route plus another 10 seconds or whatever.
Which is amazing. Which would be, like, even just that statement makes me think this is not crazy of an idea.
Well, if it does... You're gonna lose anyway. Is more where I am.
Yeah. I love that. You've already lost.
One thing I will say as well is my fastest Winter Soldier takedown in Realm of Legends with Cull was in, I think, 75 hits at rank 3. And that's with 0 ramp. So it is possible to put up those very quick times with little hits. It's just, as I say before, you do need the RNG to go your way.
Okay. The RNG of the armor breaks?
Yeah, I can't remember if they changed it from 50%, but I know that's what it was before the change.
So it's actually 75% chance per strike.
Right, that was part of what they changed, was to make it more reliable without the ramp.
Yeah, so that's still, like, I'll be honest, I thought it was 50. So that should be a lot more reliable than what I was going off before. So basically, at very minimum, you should get one armor break per heavy, and that's being unlucky.
Yeah.
He's incredibly fun to play. It caused me to play him, like I said, to force him into some matchups for, I don't remember even what, like, just over this holiday, just like, I'm like, oh, I got 10 minutes, I'll play this and get a quest out. And I just forgot how fun, and his animations, so many things are so good. I'm not going to rank for anyone right now, but I'll hit you guys up in the chat and stuff like that. We got a really cool question here from Lord Easy. What's up, dude? So let's give everyone a chance to answer this. I'm going to give my answer, and then I want to hear what you guys say, because I might change my answer. But what is the best Lord of the Rings movie? Fellowship, Two Towers, or Return of the King? And
okay,
I'm going to give my answer, and then I really want to hear from all of you guys, and I'd like to hear from everyone in the chat too.
I will fight you, sir.
Okay, I know. As soon as I saw this one, I was like, "Woo! Good thing we're not in the same room." I'm going to go.
Great question.
With Fellowship.
I said that specifically to trigger people.
And I'm going with Fellowship because Fellowship was the first one, right? Right? Yeah, it's got to be. I tend to do this with these trilogies, in that, or these sorts of movies where it's a series, is because typically if they're that good that we're asking the question, that's the one that sets up the world for me. And I know this isn't the essence of the question, but it's how I'm framing the question. Is that's the one that like gets me excited about 2 and 3, or like I did enjoy the Harry Potter movies. Okay, I know the first one was by far the most oriented towards children, but that's the one that set up the world and like got me interested in it. I feel the same way about like Star Wars. For me, it's the first. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the one that I would watch over the most or anything like that. It's just that's the one that it'd be really difficult for me to not say is my favorite or the best. Like Rocky, same thing with Rocky. Like it's the first thing that got me hooked on it. Yeah. So that's me, but that's also how I frame the question. So I realize other people may frame it differently. Let's go because this is an exciting one. Let's go TJ, Bryce, then DLL.
I'll let someone else go first, I want to hear people's opinions before I trigger people again.
Yeah, no, I gladly will. This is actually fantastic.
I've already had a threat from DLL.
Before Tavy went out of town, we actually rewatched all of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and Rings of Power. So this is all like super fresh for me again. Get this right out of the way. I don't know if we're including the Hobbit movies into this discussion or not, but I love those movies and I'll die on this hill. Those movies are fantastic. That being said, if we're looking at strictly Lord of the Rings, I think you got to go with Return of the King. Yeah. That movie's just like everything about that is incredible, especially rewatching them all consecutively because we binged it all. It all, comes to fruition. You have all of these different storylines tying together. You have some truly incredible moments in it. It's awesome. Favorite scene of that whole movie for me is, Gondor calls for aid.
Yeah.
Classic. And then, of course, when they're on the battlefield and Aragorn brings the entire spectral army in, awesome stuff. Love it.
Yeah.
That being said, if we're including The Hobbit into these, Desolation of Smaug, hands down, easily win.
I'm so sad right now.
I love you too.
Yeah, I'm
I
glad
actu-
we agree on the.
I enjoyed the first Hobbit movie. I think that the last two just added too much, and it no
Battle
longer.
of Five Armies was not great for me. Like, they killed Smaug in the first 10 minutes of the movie after
Yeah, it was a
setup of the
freaking
second one. It
mess.
was so weird, and it threw me off majorly. I'm not huge on Battle of Five Armies, but the first two were great.
I enjoyed the first one a lot. The second one was okay for me, but I have to back Vega here. For me, it's Fellowship of the Ring, and there's a lot like Return of the King has the payoffs, but the reason you feel the payoffs is because Fellowship.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Helm's Deep is the best battle, and there are some amazing moments of catharsis in Return of the King. But like the holy shit, that's cool stuff is mostly in the first movie for me. I cry the most in the first movie. Then I'm Coming With You, My Captain, My King. Like, I can't say any more from those scenes or I will choke up on air. But like that stuff, everything where they're going through Moria, the original throwback to the Last Alliance of Elves and Men, like that's the big I'm getting chills talking about it. Like, I love all three, but Fellowship is the one that sets it up, and I'm like, yeah, I am here for the ride. I am glad I decided to watch all 9 hours of this again, because this is how it starts.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think this is cool because I think we're all framing it a little differently, which is part of like, I mean, I don't know if the question, maybe the question actually had a very strict framing and I just chose to blow right past it. What's the best, right? That's pretty open-ended. It's like how we did the videos recently, which is like, what's the best? Like, because you all are making good arguments. The one that made me doubt myself though was the Harry Potter, because I think if I was just going to watch one over, it would probably be the last one. It would not be, because I do feel like the Harry Potter ones are so different due to the age of the kids. And I realize the question is about Lord of the Rings, but I use Harry Potter as an example where I think due to the age of the kids, the first one really does feel like a kid's movie. Until the end, where like Voldemort's living on a dude's head. That scares the HELL out of any child. Don't do it. I made that mistake. It really scares them. But
Goblet of Fire was the best book, Carson. I'm not sure it was the best movie.
I agree.
Which one's Goblet of Fire? Can you give me some like knowledge of what happens?
It's the fourth one with the Triwizard Tournament.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So in some ways, that one does feel like all the things I'm saying about setting up a story and entering the world.
It's a turning point.
Yeah, it feels like one, doesn't it?
It's the book I reread the most as a kid.
This is tough.
But I also feel like it was kind of this. It was a different kind of turning point in the movies where it felt like a fairly hard pivot from children's movies to like, we're doing something dark now. And so it lost some strength for me.
Yeah, the after actually, looking at the movies themselves, they tried to make pretty much all of it from Prisoner of Azkaban onwards pretty dark. And I mean, of course, it's based on the books, and the books themselves have some pretty intense stuff in them. I read them all. I've just frankly, I'm not going to get super into this because I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan.
Okay.
It just was never really my thing, but I have at least read the books and seen all the movies, so I mean, I'm a fan to an extent. But I don't know. Like, I think that the payoffs, if we're looking at just like which one of those are the best, the payoffs to me aren't until like the absolute end of the series. Like, you have some cool stuff, of course, that happens throughout all of the movies, but I would say if I had to go back and rewatch one right now, it would be the Deathly Hallows, with like almost without question.
Yeah, my favorite out of those is Deathly Hallows.
All right. Well, that was a cool topic. If there's any other questions on that, like, please, like, that was fun. That was literally fun.
I actually did have a question to extend from the Lord of the Rings discussion.
Yeah.
How did y'all feel about Rings of Power, if y'all have seen it? Without spoilers, because it is new.
No, I know that one's new enough. We should definitely be careful. I enjoyed it. I don't consider myself a lore purist. I have read the Silmarillion, so I at least have that context. There are a few places, especially as we got into it, where I feel like they played a little fast and loose with how much they were changing for the adaptation. Because I want to say, first off, I consider it a complete truth. You do need to change things from a book to a show or a movie. The media are different. Things have to change. If you're going to be a stick in the mud about that, I think it's hard to have that conversation.
Hold on. I know I'm interrupting and I apologize, but I've basically gone back and forth on the rank ups here for like 5 minutes with doing nothing. Who do you guys think I should rank up to rank 3 now? Could take a couple of them probably. Was the Colossus actually like a good, because he's not going to be good offensively in this matter, right?
No,
No,
not at all.
He'd be purely for defense.
One thing about this meta is I wouldn't worry about two ways because there aren't many of them at all. All of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head, you've already got ranked up.
Right. You're talking about like Gallon, and odds are you're not throwing him on defense.
There's Gallon, Doom, Rinfer.
So who do you guys think then? Because you're right. So then we've got Colossus, Silver Warrior, Electro.
I do think Captain Marvel has value. Because she's going to be slower than most, but her heavy counter is not an armor break and is not a nullify. Armor pulverize is different. So she actually is a Colossus counter.
Oh.
Yes. And she removes all armor from that. It's just outright.
Well, I really like her. I'll do Captain Marvel, and then who else do you guys think I should do? I'm noticing no one's jumping on Silver Warrior.
I did it. I think that he's going to be very nice. At least, I mean, defensively. Obviously, like, I am not going to use him offensively. He's way too slow, even just in regular matchups.
He could be okay in like power snack metas in the future, though.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, TJ?
One thing I will say for Captain Marvel, this meta is going to be heavily Mystic based, I think, purely because science counters aren't really an option, and with the tech class, there are going to be a lot of cosmic attackers that are very dominant. So I don't think tech defenders are going to be as annoying as Mystic defenders in the slightest. Captain Marvel's worst matchups easily are Mystics, because she just takes damage whenever she blocks.
Right.
So I personally wouldn't take her up purely for that reason.
Do you guys think?
And there are other.
Do you think
I feel like there are other better options.
Do you think a Tuma would potentially be good?
Nah.
I'll be honest, I know nothing about him.
That's why I wondered if he'd be good. Is literally people just be like, I don't know what to do with this guy.
I think he'd be all right, because, I mean, you can't use ability accuracy reduction against him. You're purely relying on his...
You'd have to armor break it,
right? You're purely relying on armor break or nullify.
I'll be honest, if I saw him as Tomb, I'd probably just ban him, because I don't know how he works.
I mean, DLL is pretty quick with the no, though, so that makes me wonder. Kind of going back to the DLL Karate Mike.
I mean, he's going to be a good defender going forward, is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, he's not a bad rank.
Okay. So, did you guys think Colossus was a good rank? I mean, I don't want to waste my... Because I don't want to... If I already have a good enough deck for the meta, then that's fine. And then I'll just rank up champions I enjoy and like. Did you guys think Colossus is a no doubt put him in as a defender type of champion in your deck?
I would. I would, yeah.
I'm not going to, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be any good.
DLL, you're the deciding vote.
Don't want to rank him up.
Fair.
I think he'll be fine. I think I probably would take up Atuma over Colossus personally.
Okay.
One thing I have noticed as well, I have been taking a couple of champs to rank 3. I've not taken many, I think maybe 3 or 4. And I've gone through my roster to see who I'd actually include in my deck. And it's at the point where I've done a couple of rank ups specifically for the next meta, and I don't have space for them.
Yeah, I run into that as a real problem.
I've gone through and planned it out, who potentially I could use for this, who I do have as options, and I've counted, I think around 30 to 40. So,
Simsup.
Yes,
definitely.
While we're sitting here.
Oh, I should take up Simsup, you guys think? Oh, that's right. He starts off with the staggers, and then he's got the armor break.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to be good against people who start with armors as well. And also, he's really good with the Scarlet Witch Relic.
I realize we haven't done enough stuff with the chat in a bit. Apologize, guys. The movie one just got us going. A lot of people talking about the moves, which is cool. What's up, Sonia? Sorry, we didn't get to you earlier.
Yes, Atuma does mess up neutralizers.
Vegas, their challenge, you'd shave your beard clean. Asking for Dalmadeus said that would be way out there, probably well beyond. Let's go with 50,000. If we have 50,000 subscribers, then I'll do that. And then I'll grow it back in a week. My facial hair goes very quickly. What's up, Mr.
I also
Seth?
think that if you throw on Atuma, at least in the victory track, you're going to get some people try and Archangel him, because that worked for most of the month when he was on defense, and that has since been fixed.
One more time?
Atuma was bugged when he released, in that both Neutralize and Archangel did work on him when they weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
And so there is a certain amount in the victory track where you're probably going to get people going, haha, I took this guy with Archangel, and then they're just going to get wrecked by him. So
that's a good point. He's going to be
depends on how you want to win.
I win ugly, man. Most of my wins are very, very ugly. Iceman's a cool one. I've been enjoying that joke. I've been enjoying that joke so much. See you, Zach. Hope you have a great New Year's, buddy. Have fun. Stay safe.
Sorry, did you say that you could grow that beard in a week?
This beard, no, not to this extent, but I bet I could grow it back pretty fast. My kids see pictures of me when I was younger, and they're like, "Did you ever shave?" And I was like, "Well, that's just 5 o'clock, sweetheart."
Yeah, I have not had a beard.
I've been growing it out for 2 weeks, and it looks like I've shaved my eyebrows and put it on my face.
Oh. I think I've gone about 1 week without a beard since I was, 18.
Yeah.
It makes me jealous.
I can't grow facial hair.
Yeah.
It wasn't good for all of that.
It means that with the job that I'm in, it means that I have to shave every morning, just because if I can't grow it out to 2 millimeters thickness in 2 weeks, I have to shave.
Really?
Gotcha.
So it's just annoying keeping on top of that. It makes me jealous every time I see somebody with a very nice beard.
They just don't want you looking scruffy, I assume. They're like, we either want clean shaven or full beard, no scruffiness.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
As well, it's worse with me because the right side is growing a lot more than the left.
And that's the worst, because I know this has come up in the Discord, and both Vega and I have said, if you want to develop a full beard, you just kind of have to let it be scruffy for a bit.
Yeah. It's
very patchy as well. It's not nice.
Yeah, I think it's easier to say that to DLL when your beard fills in, because like TJ saying, I've never heard of one side being more full than the other, but the spotches, I just made up a word. The spots and patches I've seen before, and it's like, that is an uncomfortable time, right? It's not like when you're for those who've ever shaved their head and then they try to grow it, to a more traditional length, you can wear a hat. You can cover it pretty simply. Yeah. You really can't cover your face, I don't know.
You could wear a mask.
You could. In today's day and age, you could do that. That's true. Good point. What's up, Silar, what's up, dude? Happy New Year's to you. Captain Easy, on the bright side, you save a lot of money for not needing. Oh, absolutely, dude. I have like a barber clipper that I use to just kind of go around the sides, and it's all good. That's
another thing that annoys me a lot. Is the money side of it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not that I want to shave. It's that I have to, and I have to spend money on it.
Yeah. That's a thing.
First part as well. It's not even like it's only slightly more on one side. It's really noticeable. I should probably show. I'll show it at some point in Discord. But
What's up, Oracle? Joey says they shave every day. Joey, I do not know why, but I feel like you work in the military. Does anyone else feel that way, or am I the only one? Did Joey maybe?
Joey.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Okay. Do you show a photo maybe or something?
If this is my friend Joey, because I'm not looking at chat right now, then yeah, he's military.
Yeah, he works in the Navy. Okay, there we go. That all makes sense then. OC is asking, is Rincho worthy of a generic Awakening gem?
No.
Okay.
So many people strongly prefer him unduped that I just can't put him on that list.
Okay, I'm
next
not...
season specifically as well. He's going to be so much better unduped because his main counters on defense next season are going to be Mystic Champs. The power gain buffs he gets trigger Mystic Dispersion.
Yeah.
So that's going to slow Mystic Champs down a lot.
So, I'm struggling just to operate the game at the moment. We are going to take up a Tuma 1, so we'll take him up. It'll be fun.
I want a Tuma really bad.
Yeah, I think like looks cool. I love the heck out of the movie and all of that. So
how could you not?
Exactly. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons. I think he is cool, and whatever a champion's like that unique in what appears to be usable way, that's usually a good sign for me, in my opinion. Right? They didn't just be like, we're just going to make them different for kicks and giggles. Like this feels like intentional. There's actual problems that may be able to solve, and seems usable outside of that. We'll see. I'll have some fun with that. The only thing that hurts a little bit is, it doesn't even hurt because the resources have been coming in so high lately, is that his featured crystal, I think, is only in like 35 days. So, but whatever, it's fine.
Yep.
Because we're gonna awaken him. We're gonna awaken him and put some SIGs into him. So we'll have. I mean, this. Yeah. A Tuma Batata.
Yeah.
Potato tomato, right? Or tomato tomato. Fusky, will SimSup need the dupe for this meta? It's been so long since
I would recommend it.
Yeah, isn't that the one that makes him start off with a stagger? It's been so long since I've studied SimSup.
He just applies one automatically every
He
few
gets
seconds.
them periodically. It scales from 20 seconds down to 10, I think.
Okay.
19 to 10. Okay.
There was a long time ago
Okay, you were correct.
where he was going to factor into my prestige.
12.6.
Oh, Hakuna Matata. Got it. I went wrong with the joke. Okay, here.
Wonderful phrase.
This is a good one. Is not sure if you guys touched on it, but thoughts, predictions on the banquet rankings from a healthy standpoint. You know what? I realize I don't think I understand the question.
I think he's saying like if we were looking at predictions from either a lesser spending to see like something like that, or if we were being generous with our rankings, what would we say that each rank would end up being?
I still
That makes sense.
I still don't
No,
understand
I
it at
feel
all.
like I'm reading that as, do we think the rank rewards are healthy? And
Yeah.
personally,
Oh.
yes. Because I think that, yes, there is somebody who's sitting out there with multiple rank 5s, but they spent an obscene amount, and there were a lot of rank 4s last year because people just needed basic and alpha catalysts instead of class catalysts, right?
Yes, it's
So it
way
was-
more RNG this year.
Right. It was a lot easier to farm the crystals last year, and so even though the rank rewards look better, the grand total of things isn't really worse. It might even be less egregious.
I actually tried to explain that
Well,
in my 50 banquet. I did like 50 on a video. This is before I realized that those the rewards for that 300 to 5,000 were actually 3/4 crystals. Because I did decide to go a little stronger when I realized that's what they were. But I tried to get the point across, and I don't know if I did a good job saying this. I was like, "Ooh, the way they did this, those people going for like definitely top 30, are going to have to go huge, like
Mhm.
huge. And what they're going to get from the crystals, obviously, there's some people who went well beyond my wildest imagination. Although it now makes sense looking back, they're going to get those multiple rank 5s, right? But they're really just going to get basically what you're seeing me do from the crystals. Is you're going to get a bunch of rank 3s and probably some rank 4s, but that's not really going to, in a material way, increase their advantage more than it already was, right?
Right.
Or with people that they're already competing against. Like, yeah, it's those rank 5s, and this is what I'll often say is like, okay, so Siler is giving their question a little more meat on the outline there on the bones, and we can talk about that a little bit different. But what I'm saying is whaling. You guys have already heard me on the stream say this today. You've heard me say it in other videos. It's a all the time. It's a full-time job. It's 365. So we're also talking about Magus. If they stopped spending today, players like myself who aren't going to get a single rank 5 from this event, I predict I would catch him in rank 5s by the middle of next year. I could be wrong, but I feel very confident that if they stopped spending, that just by playing the game, players like myself and players in this era or this area would catch them in rank 5s by the middle of next year. So I don't know. I mean, I think we could debate whether that's healthy or not. That's just kind of, oh, TJ had to go. Sorry, TJ, if you're still there, but we didn't realize you had to go. But thanks for being here. So yeah, that's my sense on it. But Siler is actually asking a slightly different question, which is compared to last year's. Where is it? I've lost it in the chat.
They also clarified free to play to whale as in like the mid ground. And in response to that, I think free to play, it's amazing this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad last year, but it is amazing this year. The amount of stuff you can get for spending literally no money. And you can max it out if you saved like almost anything from grinding. So I feel like the free to play side is great. On the moderate side, it kind of depends on what you define as moderate, but I think it's really interesting that there's no 11 to 20 alliance rewards this year. After top 10, it just drops to percentages. And that means that most of us who are not going for like top 10 in AQ are going to be in pretty much the same boat. There's also, I don't think, any rank 4 stuff in the alliance rewards, which was one of my least favorite things last year, because I remember that I have a very explicit memory of we were top 30 in AQ, and gifting happened, and it made it so that we've never gotten back there. And one of the reasons was that a group that was below us was carried by a couple of its members into the top alliance rankings and got several rank 4s on us. And we just never caught up. The alliance rewards are not as juicy this year, and they don't go as far down. So I think that right there is already nicer to like moderate spenders versus dolphin and whale alliances. And like it's nicer to dolphin alliances versus whale alliances. And then the fact that on the solo side of things, the numbered reward goes all the way down to 5,000 before it hits percentages, means that individual people who are normally more like dolphins, like myself, or I know B McG also falls into this camp, or Bryce, can feel like we can put down a little bit more and have a real chance of getting big rewards that aren't just the huge next percentage gap. So it's honestly, I feel like it's very well balanced the whole way through.
I agree with everything you just said.
No worries, DJ. Welcome back.
Hey guys, I apologize. I actually just got a message, and it's something that I do need to take care of, and it is time sensitive. We were probably going to be signing off in a minute here. Anyway, Mikey, I know you just showed up, man. I apologize. Guys, I really am sorry. I none of you guys are streaming or anything in the next few minutes, are you?
I won't be.
No, I probably need to go check on something. I might stream later, but
okay. I know this was kind of abrupt. It wasn't my intention, but I do need.
Man, you're all good.
Yeah.
No worries.
actually, this thing's it's everything's just fine, but this isn't good news that I have to take care of. Thank you everyone for being here. I really love the conversation. This was fun. Maybe we'll do something like this again soon. Atuma will go up. I will rank up Atuma. Maybe I'll make a video or something on it. I don't know. But huge thank you to everyone that's been on the call. Bryce, DLL, TJ, Nerd, and it's me. I'm the last person there in that little chat. And, and huge thank you to everyone in the chat. This was so much fun. I hope you all have a fun, safe New Year's. And huge thank you to OG Highline, Zski, Zach, Fusky, and Mr. Fisk, Wilson Fisk. I apologize for any questions that we missed. I know there was some that I had wanted to get to, but like I said, guys, I do really need to go. Thank you so much for watching. Hope everyone has a great, safe, and fun New Year's. Take care. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Adios all. Enjoy yourself responsibly.
Yes.